Hello, Prayerful Heart Consciousness holders. This is Reverend Jerry Hobby. I'm with Spiritual Enlightenment and Truth Focused Ministry, and I serve as the director of this ministry. I'm so excited this week because we are celebrating our last week of the year. We're looking up to great things, and in our looking up, we have chosen to embrace and celebrate the 7 principles of Kwanzaa this year. And so we're in day 2 of this celebration. And in this day 2, we get an opportunity to focus on looking up in a divine way. It's an opportunity for us to be in a space of unconditional love and not only move into a place of unconditional love, it's also an opportunity for us to focus on the word of the day. And the word of the day is Kujichagulia. It is a Swahili term, and basically what it means is self-determination. And with self-determination, we define ourselves. We name ourselves, we create ourselves, and we speak for ourselves. And when we speak from the place of the Most High, then only good can expand itself. So you'll notice that I am dressed in my African garb, and it includes a very special symbol. This is the symbol known as Jinami. It is a symbol that represents the supremacy of God, accepting the supremacy of spirit in all things and looking towards that. So, with that in mind, I'd like to share a couple of things to plant within our psyche as we prepare to move into a new year. One of the things that I want us to always remember is that life is not about struggle. Life is about looking up and focusing on good. So I'm going to pull from our wonderful ancestor, Maya Angelou. She says, "My mission in life is not merely to survive, but to thrive." So with some passion, some compassion, some humor, and a style. So that is the essence of what life is all about. Greeting it with a sense of warmth. One of the other things that we get to remember too, and this is one of the greatest struggles that we have encountered in our lives. And I'd like to share this thought with you. And here's a quote from Carol Moseley Braun. "Defining myself as opposed to being defined by others is one of the most difficult challenges I face." We all face that challenge. So the question is, who have I come here to be? And this is a thing that we get to contemplate all of our lives, and it is that time where we get a chance to simply listen. Howard Thurman says there is something within each and every one of us that simply waits for the genuine to show up within us. And part of that allowing of it to show up within us, it requires a time invested within ourselves. And I want you to note I said within and moving beyond any sense of struggle and limitation. That is the reason I believe in the power of prayer. It is the essence and the foundation that I know part of my African descent. It is anchored in that space. I'm remembering my grandmother and my grandmother planting the seed of the power of prayer and how prayer can support me and change my life. That is the reason prayer is a very important part of my spiritual practice. So what I'm going to invite you to do today is to take this prayer that I share with you, and I want you to share this prayer with everyone you know, including the people that are of African descent. It is important for us to support us all in looking up and seeing the truth within ourselves. So with that in mind right now, I'm going to invite you to just turn within with me. And if you feel comfortable, you may close your eyes. And if you feel comfortable with your eyes open, please feel free to do so. But the first thing I'm going to ask you to do is simply breathe. And as you're breathing right now, I just invite you to just move into that sacred space, the space of the divine, allowing for the breath to circulate itself, to move through your heart space, to clear the lungs, and to clear away any debris that is unlike the highest supremacy of God. And in this very moment, right here, right now, I'm just acknowledging the high supremacy of God within my life, within each and every single person that is hearing this prayer on every social medium. I'm acknowledging the power of this wonderful energy and this vibration of God in its highest expression. And what I know is that that vibration, that truth, and that essence of its highest vibration is revealed in this very moment. And what I know is it shows up in a practical way, that it uplifts and it inspires, that it is this divine energy and vibration that fulfills itself, and it supports the evolution of humanity. It supports the growth of humanity. It creates a space of safety for all concerned. So in this very moment, right here, right now, I know that this power and this presence is the peace that passeth all understanding, that it abides within us, it maintains itself within us, and it fulfills itself. I know that this same power is that vibration that expands itself within all relationships, in our relationships with our family and our relationships in the world. And what I'm knowing is that this divine presence, this divine power, this divine energy is the energy that continues to grow and express itself. It continues to reveal itself. And it is in this very moment of perfect love, unconditional love, that I simply acknowledge the power and the presence of this energy as the divine essence, as perfect communication, as that divine listener that hears with clarity, with ease, and allows for the supremacy of God, the highest expression of God, to expand itself and enlarge itself in a practical way. And as I'm acknowledging this truth, I know that this wonderful presence brings balance within the home space. I know that it is that divine energy that fulfills itself when we travel and we move out into the world. And I know that that same energy abides and expresses itself right now as the spirit and the light of truth. It is abundant and overflowing. It fulfills every seeming need. And I know that there is always an inner working of this good in all situations, in all ways. So what I'm knowing is there is nothing that is unlike the essence of spirit. It has no power. The outer experience has no power, but that the presence within fulfills itself. It uplifts and it expands itself. So I'm claiming that essence as abundance and prosperity. I claim it as the spirit of perfect health, wholeness, and truth. I'm claiming it as that divine light that continues to shine. It continues to uplift itself, and it continues to fulfill itself creatively. It creates itself as divine wisdom. And so it is in this space right here, right now, in love and in joy, that I simply release these words into that universal presence that we call the Lordly presence, universal law, knowing that it is already fulfilled itself. It's gone before and prepared the way. So I know it as perfect and good. And it is in this space right here and right now that I invite you to just affirm with me those sacred words. And so it is. Amen. I just want you to breathe with me. And as you're breathing, I'm going to invite you to gently open your eyes. And as you open your eyes, I get to look into your eyes once more. I'm going to remind you of the power of prayer. If you're going through something right now, I want you to remember to use this prayer app, the Purple Heart app. Download it. Keep it close to you. So whatever you're moving through, remember the power of prayer. I know that my grandmother is a unique specimen of life, of humanity, and she taught me so much. But I know that your ancestors did the same, and they reminded you of the power of spiritual practice and how it will move you past any seeming challenge in your life. So I invite you to have a blessed day, to remember Kujichagulia, and to be in that space of self-determination. And don't leave home without prayer.